3 years to it.
Don't they have to patch?
They can patch it, and I did ask them about that, and they said they're, actually May 1st was when the pits were opening for the hot patch, so they've been cold patching, but it doesn't hold.
So they do have to patch, I mean, they're not
They'll
gonna,
patch.
we're not gonna have holes for 3 years to drive through.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah, because the hot patch will come out.
They got patched last year, but they didn't last very long.
does the county have the authority to close East Chippewa and Chippewa to semi-traffic? I mean, those truckers use that as a shortcut, so they don't have to do M20 all the way to Big Rapids. And I think that's part of the problem, is that heavy traffic on a road that's not designated for heavy vehicles. Just seems like, you know, they go through there and they're destroying the road by their weight. And if they were forced not to go that way, I would think that the road would hold up a lot better, but I don't know if that's possible.
I don't know, Gary, I have to
It's
ask.
it's county road, right?
It is county, it's a county primary road.
Right, but it's not designated truck route, which M20 is. But yet, like I say, they use that to get to Paris. And they use East Chippewa, and that's a shortcut to get to Big Rapids, and it's just very destructive, I think, to the road, and until, I don't care what you do with it, I think it's gonna, that causes a lot of problems.
Can we petition the county to change it to a weight limit on the road?
I can find out from them what the process would be to change that.
I know several years back, they did 90th with the idea that trucking would go that way around instead of coming through the village, but it doesn't seem like it's helped.
The speed,
You gotta tell them no.
the speed bumps on 90th stop them from doing it.
Yeah,
But trucks still do run early in the morning.
oh yeah. Well, trucks coming through here constant right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I need to know what to take back to them, whether we wanna just leave it on for 2019 for the full-blown project.
Could,
That's my feeling.
if it was
They're
left
gonna
on,
patch by,
it could be readdressed at any time, right? Let them patch it, see how the patch holds, and then readdress it at additional meetings?
They said that they would need to know in May which route to go because they have to change their federal funding paperwork.
But next year, you could petition maybe next year to do it, if we didn't do it this year.
I'm
If
not
they had
real
to?
sure, Gary,
Okay.
because I don't know, once they
Yeah.
have submitted that paperwork for federal funds, I don't know what they have to do to change it.
If it gets bad enough, maybe they'll keep the trucks from going through.
what's your pleasure?
Well, if you don't think it's gonna hold up, there's no sense in putting $40,000 into it.
That's my personal feeling, is that it's not gonna hold up.
But I know we have been getting huge complaints about it too.
Yeah.
So, I don't.
It'd be nice if they would do both. If they would put the money into it and then in 3 or 4 or even 5 years, when it starts to deteriorate again, have that federal money to fix it the way it needs to be fixed.
And that's not the way they said they would do it.
It does keep the traffic slow, it slows the traffic
Yeah.
down, the way, with the way it is. That is a benefit of it.
Yeah.
Then you think that it would take some of the traffic on around 90th, but it don't.
There's some serious speed bumps in 90th, so.
Yeah, there is.
A lot of people avoid that.
Have a motion, one way or the other. I'll make the motion, we leave it as is.
To leave it on the 2019.
19. Work with them to get some patching done.
No sport.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Golf cart policy.
Yep. We received back from the attorney, the resolution that we asked for the use of golf carts on township roads. And the resolution reads, to authorize use and operation of golf carts on streets within the township, whereas Public Act 491 of the Public Acts of Michigan of 2014, Act 491 authorizes a township having a population of fewer than 30,000 individuals based upon the 2010 decennial census to authorize by resolution the use and operation of golf carts on streets within the township with a speed limit of not more than 30 miles per hour, subject to disapproval of such resolution by the County Board of Commissioners. And whereas the Township Board desires to permit the use of golf carts on streets within the township as permitted by Act 491 and applicable provisions of the Michigan Vehicle Code, being Act 300 of the Public Acts of Michigan of 1949 as amended, now therefore be hereby resolved as follows. In accordance with Act 491, the Township Board hereby determines that it is in the best interest of the township to authorize the use and operation of golf carts on public streets within the township, subject to the following. Golf carts may be operated on any public streets within the township. The operation of a golf cart on any street shall be subject to all applicable requirements of law enforcement by the Lancaster County Sheriff's Department, and or any other law enforcement agencies with jurisdiction, including but not limited to the requirements specified in section 257.657A of the Michigan Vehicle Code. A person shall not operate a golf cart on any of the above designated streets unless he or she is at least 16 years old and is licensed to operate a motor vehicle. A person operating a golf cart on any street within the township shall comply with the signal requirements of section 648 of the Michigan Vehicle Code that apply to the operation of a vehicle. A person operating a golf cart on any street within the township shall ride as near to the right side of the roadway as practicable, exercise due care when passing a standing vehicle or one proceeding in the same direction. A person operating a golf cart on any street within the township shall not pass between lines of traffic, but may pass on the left of traffic moving in his or her direction in any case of a two-way street, or on the left or right of traffic in the case of a one-way street in an unoccupied lane. A golf cart shall not be operated on a sidewalk constructed for the use of pedestrians. A golf cart operated on any street within the township shall be operated at a speed not to exceed 15 miles per hour. A golf cart shall not be operated on any street within the township during the time period from 1/2 hour before sunset to 1/2 hour after sunrise. A person operating a golf cart or who is a passenger in a golf cart being operated on any street within the township is not required to wear a crash helmet. A golf cart operated on any street within the township is not required to be registered under the Michigan Vehicle Code for purposes of section 3101 of the Insurance Code of 1956. This resolution shall become effective immediately upon adoption by the Chippewa Township Board and shall thereafter remain in effect unless or until it is disapproved by the Lancaster County Board of Commissioners or is rescinded or amended by operation of law or by further resolution of the Chippewa Township Board.
We have to go through the board, county
We
commission.
would approve this and then I have to send a copy to them,
So what streets are eligible?
all of them, except for private, I mean public.
Well, Chippewa is what, 35 and 40? East Chippewa is 55, and they can't ride on those, right?
No, they can, but they can only go 15 miles an hour.
I thought the first part you read said only streets with speed limits less than, maybe I misunderstood.
Oh, hang on, let me read it again, maybe I misunderstood. The use and operation of golf carts on streets within the township with a speed limit of not more than 30 miles per hour. You were right, Gary, on that. So
So,
that would have to be corrected.
Yeah, 'cause there's no roads. I mean,
But you can't get from some of them to others of them. And that's,
Most of them.
You can't go across the bridge.
right, I mean, I think it's silly. I mean, I kind of was in favor of four-wheelers on the road, looking on the shoulder. I think it's a huge mistake, because they don't ride on the shoulder, and they don't ride 25. They ride 45 and 50 down the center lane and don't get out of your way, and they violate about every rule, and.
I don't think
it's-
all of them are like that.
Well,
No,
there's
no.
gators that drive past my house going, open, whatever, forgive me. And,
No, I'm not saying all of them, but.
they're in the traffic lane.
So, basically, golf carts can be used on the other side of the lake and.
In
on
town,
the
I
other-
guess, the side
And in
streets,
town, but you couldn't connect the neighborhoods together.
I think.
At that 30 miles per hour,
So,
I mean,
Right.
so that can be,
one of the benefits of being able to use a golf cart down on the other side of the lake is so they could come up town and support the restaurants and the bar, right?
Right.
Yeah, but they.
But with that verbiage, they're not allowed to go across the
Right.
bridge.
Right.
Right.
They would be in violation. They can,
Right.
but they would be in violation.
West Chippewa is 55 miles an hour. I mean, they wouldn't even be
Oh,
able
so
to travel that
it's East
road.
Chippewa by the public provisions.
Right, so they wouldn't be able to come out of their own subdivisions.
Even near Camp Danzer, where it says 25, it's not really
It's,
25.
no, it's not.
So is there, and there's no way at the bridge that there, a lane could be made for golf carts either?
It's not wide enough, no.
It's not wide enough. Could that be included in the bridge project?
In the bridge project, what they are including is a walkway,
But they,
for people
But it's-
fishing
yeah,
and that.
but the carts wouldn't be able to.
A walkway.
Yeah, it's
basically
specifically
a
excluded
sidewalk, I would
pedestrian
think.
They
and
can't,
walk.
they do it on that,
Yeah.
they can go kart.
If it's a
Right.
designated walkway, they cannot
Right.
take their golf cart on it, right?
Could petition the county to lower the speed limit to 30.
That goes through the road commission and it has to be done by the state police.
Now, I thought I saw a yellow sign at the bridge that it drops it. The speed limit, is that
Was it a yellow sign?
a yellow sign?
That's advisory only.
I can.
You gotta be
get
careful.
Mark and ask him about.
We have to be
that
careful
speed.
having the state police check speeds, because a lot of times they go up, not down.
Yeah. That's what happened out here on Chippewa Drive, when they did that study, it went up.
So, if it's adopted the way it is, then the persons owning those golf carts coming up town would drive on that short section there at their own risk, right?
Mhm. They would
They
have
can
to.
do that now, I mean,
Yeah.
how does it change, you know?
It's not.
You're giving them sort of a legal nod to do some of it, but not enough to.
Well, I
really-
can go back and ask him in regards to that 30 miles per hour, if that's something that was in the Michigan law, or
Yeah.
whether
It's
that
something
is.
that we can have the
That
right
could
to
change.
fluctuate, correct.
Reading on there, can't the county commission read the rest of that?
The county commission could kibosh the whole deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they could also, no, okay, never mind.
So so then it's a county enforcement issue then?
It would be the sheriff's department would be who would enforce it, that's who enforces the RVs and.
Township has no
Sure.
authority to,
By passing that, do you throw any civil liability on the township?
From what the attorney said, no, because it's under the McCosta County ordinance now for ORVs, but it's kind of, and I'm not sure, Bill, it's kind of a gray area when it comes to golf carts under that ordinance.
Basically, we're leaving that up to the townships to make a call. Is that a boilerplate or a sample of an ordinance? I don't think 30 that's not a statewide thing, so how did the 30 mile per hour get in there?
It came from our attorney, so that's what I need to
So
ask
why don't you
him.
ask him if he could do 35,
Yeah,
that would get him
right.
across the bridge.
That's what I'm gonna ask him, if that is set and where, you know, he came up with that figure, or if that can be raised to meet the roads in our area.
35 would meet that, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It would, yeah.
Question, could they go on 21 mile road, because that's more than 35?
It would depend on what we set that per miles an hour at. I mean, if we set it at 55, then they can use any road that there is,
Doesn't it turn to 35 up the hill
up the hill from,
though? On 20, is it 21 that goes back there? Does it stay 55 till the corner?
From 100 to,
to Big Rapids.
yeah,
Oh,
so,
it's
It's
55.
55, 21 miles
It's-
is all
I
55.
think it's technically 25 when you cross the bridge in Paris until you get to the stop sign,
but
because
that's,
that's,
Coming
it's
in
55
Paris.
otherwise.
I would be careful going any higher than 35. I think
Yeah.
that might raise eyebrows as far as concurrence with you.
Because I think most of the
You
golf
don't
cart
want
use
golf
would be
carts.
around the
Yeah,
lakes
you don't want that
areas
on
of the
55
township anyway, right?
Yeah.
But the key would be to allow them to burn them uptown, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's always a danger when you combine faster moving vehicles with slower moving vehicles. And it was 25 was their maximum speed you're supposed to
I
go?
think 15 for golf carts.
15, so now you got cars doing 35 with golf carts doing 15. Angry, yes.
Because they're having.
Put up signs, golf carts in the area, just like they do moose and
Well,
buffalo.
then they have new targets to shoot at.
If we did it to a 35 miles per hour, if, taking a look at our roads, just around our lakes here in our township, that would allow those property owners to,
I would agree that it's gonna irritate some people driving faster on the main road, but the benefits of allowing everyone to come uptown to spend their money uptown, I believe would outweigh the irritation of some.
They don't have cars?
It's easier to get in a golf cart and ride uptown than it is get in your car.
I think that we table this until we've got time to ask the lawyer about the speed limit.
I'll support.
And if you're a one-car household, sometimes you only have the golf cart.
Kristen
That's
moved,
gonna be a problem.
Julie supported,
But you can't lower the speed limit on Chippewa to 35.
all those in favor,
Aye.
opposed,
That's
motion
40.
carried.
So I'll bring that back to next month's
Yep.
meeting.
Community buildings, sworn statement of partial loss.
Yep, we got the sworn statement of partial loss for the community building, the actual actual cash value as it stood before it burnt, they had it $236,027 minus the deductible, which was $500, so they wanna send us a check for $235,527, that's just the actual cash value of the building. That is not the replacement cost of the building. That will be determined by the two estimates that we are in the process of getting. So we have that, and we had it at our special meeting, but we tabled it because of the not knowing where the vent hood system for the kitchen was either in the building, or they told us to put it in the contents because they didn't include it in the building. We have over $100,000 policy, that covers the content, so we have plenty either way, so they said that they were gonna leave it in the contents instead of changing the building figures. So I'm gonna move that we, sign the sworn statement of partial loss for the community building with our final, cash value figure minus the deductible at $235,527.
I'll support that.
Now, the resolution, or
Motion.
just a motion? It's been moved and supported, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, now with that check coming in and that kind of money, I have to open a bank account. I figured we want it in its own fund to be used, like a checking account to be used as we get draws as we're building the new building. So I checked with several of the local banks, because what we have to have is a resolution from the board stating that we can, it's approved to open that account with that bank and place this money in there. Chemical Bank, they have, their interest rate is 0.25%, but they have a $7 a month service charge, so with that amount of money, it would kind of be a wash, they said. So we basically wouldn't pay a fee, but we wouldn't get any interest either. Huntington Bank hasn't called me back yet. They were supposed to get back with me yesterday and they haven't. Independent Bank, they have what they call an XL money market. You get 6 checks per month. It is 0.20% interest if it remains above 10,000. If it drops below 10,000, it's 0.15%, but they have a $15 monthly fee for whenever it drops below 70,000. Fifth Third has what they call their business checking, $3,500 balance, and the checking is free. It's 0.20% interest, but they have an $11 per month fee if it falls under $3,500. And the reason that we're not doing Isabella is because this will put us way over our federally secured deposits.
Did
You
you,
wanna wait for Huntington, or not?
I mean, I can, but I don't want to hold set on a $236,000 check.
No.
Did you have chemical? You had-
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, they were the wash.
chemical was the
Oh, okay.
wash, your interest kind of took away your service charge.
So Fifth Third sounds
Fifth
like,
Third is the best one out of all of them.
We ever dealt with Fifth Third before?
Years ago, before Isabella became Isabella, it was Old Kent, when it was all Old Kent Bank. So not directly with Fifth Third, but when they were Old Kent.
I know the fire department had issues with chemicals, so I would not suggest we go there.
Tell me again about the Fifth Third.
Okay, the Fifth Third, it's only a $3,500 balance and everything's free, as long as you retain that $3,500 balance. It's 0.20% interest. It's $11 per month service charge, only if it falls under that $3,500. Otherwise, it's totally free.
It would probably only fall under that when you were closing it out, right?
That's what I would,
Yeah.
we would get to that point that it would,
Yeah.
That we would,
yeah.
I'd move my resolution that we use, what is it?
Fifth
Fifth
Third.
Third.
Fifth Third,
Fifth
yeah.
Third.
I'll support.
Roll call.
Okay. George,
Yes.
Julie,
Yes.
Kristen,
Yes.
Eileen, yes, Nancy, yes.
Resolution carries. Community building asbestos violation?
We've received a asbestos violation from the state of Michigan because we did not do a asbestos survey on that building before it was torn down. We found out about it on April 15th. I happened to be working at the town hall on that Friday, thank goodness I was. And the DEQ gentleman, his name is Jeremiah Brown, came into the office and told me that they had received a phone call, that we didn't have an asbestos survey. So he asked me, I said, the township did not get one. He asked me if Dave Ayers, the contractor, had gotten one, and I told him I didn't know, that he would have to ask Dave Ayers on that. So what has transpired since then is that day, I put a stop work order, because all this stuff was still in the dumpsters on site. A stop work order with Dave, and a stop work order with Mike, Thiebo from Mike's Dumpsters, not to move those dumpsters. Got a hold of John Rakoff at Northern Analytical. He does surveys, asbestos surveys. It was too late to do the survey on that material because it was packed into the dumpsters already. After talking with him, kind of setting up a plan of what had to be done for this material to kind of take care of this violation, I then talked again that night with Jeremy Brown, and he said, so matters are not made worse. He felt that we didn't do it intentionally. Instead of removing that material from the dumpsters that they were in and packing them in line dumpsters, he said, we're gonna leave them in those dumpsters, you're gonna run them down, put polytarp, 6mm polytarps on them, and then you're gonna haul them to a type 2 landfill that takes asbestos material, because now it's gonna be treated as asbestos, even though we figured there probably wasn't any, but we didn't have a survey to prove that. So that was all accomplished. I got that in writing from him on Monday, so on Wednesday morning, the dumpsters were wet down again Monday night, and the tarps put on them. Wednesday morning, Mike called them to Pish Company in Belding. They're a type 2 facility, got the manifest that we needed. He had also talked with the MDOT and state police prior to make sure that he was covered on hauling it, and he was. Got the manifest and sent that to Jeremy Brown with the DEQ. The violation letter he told me we would be getting, he explained it to me, and we had to respond back on, what transpired, how we stopped it from, going any further, and how we will, our plan for making sure that this doesn't happen in the future. That letter has been sent back to him. We are working to get bids. We're waiting right now. The slab and the tile floor had to have the asbestos survey, so John Rakoff with Northern Analytical came out and did the testing on that. There's no asbestos in it, but I don't have the survey report yet. So as soon as I get that survey report in hand, then what we can do is we have to file the notice of intent for demolishing the concrete slab and the tile floor that's left there. And then wait 10 days, there's a 10-day waiting period, and then Dave can finish that project down there. So right now, we're just waiting on that survey. I've talked with Jeremy Brown several times. He seems to be really happy with what's transpired.